Take that, rewind it back. Ursher got the voice to make your booty go.
We gon' start this thing on right. Say what? We got the start out in the house tonight. We gon' start this thing on right. Say what? We got the ATL in the house tonight.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. It's been a while since I did a video. You know, like I say, if you don't have questions, I won't be doing any videos. So guess what? Oh, you lucky someone had a question. Now, the question I got was coming from a friend on Facebook. And, you know, like I say, I try to be here for the new beekeepers, especially in South Florida. It doesn't seem like we have a lot of videos for South Florida because our bee season is totally different from up north. And so the question was, when do we start feeding for the fall? And when do we stop feeding? And my answer to that question was, you look for resources in your hive. So what you do is you go in your hive and you're looking for honey, you're looking for nectar, you're looking for pollen especially, and you're looking for bee bread. Those are the carbohydrates and the proteins that the bees need to exist and to do their work every day. So how I do it, you know, is I look at my vegetation, and what I notice is that when my vegetation starts to dry down and it stops growing, then I know, you know, things are slowing down. When my vegetation speeds up and everything start growing bushy and you see vines and stuff just start popping up everywhere, that's kind of a sign to me that the season has begun. So I'm just going to show you something that I'm talking about. Like, if you look here, and I let this happen intentionally, you can see all of the vines are overtaking my bee yard. Now, before that, there wasn't any vines, and this is all stuff the bees can use. So I let it grow a while, and I'll just let you see how my backyard looks. Doesn't usually look like that, but all of that is stuff that the bees forage off of. So when things stop blooming and resources get low, they have something here local that they can get on. And I'm going to cut all of this back here pretty soon from off the front of the hives. I just let it grow out. So that's one sign that I use down here in South Florida to know when to feed and when not to feed. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go in my 3 hives, and I'm going to pull out the frames and we're going to look at those, and we're going to see if these hives have enough resources or do I need to start feeding them. Also, it's been pretty rainy here in South Florida. So what that tells me is that my fall nectar flow will probably be extended a little bit more. So let's get started. I'm going to go in all 3 of these hives and we're going to take them down. Now, this one right here, I can tell you they have a lot of resources. You got 2 boxes here full of honey. One is more heavier than the other one, so they got plenty of honey. I haven't been down in the brood chamber. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go down in the brood chamber and see what's there. And the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to start with the least aggressive hive, because if you start with the most aggressive hives, which is that one back there with the yellow box, what'll happen is you'll get the bees riled up. There'll be like just so much bees flying around bothering you. So what I'll do is I'll start with the least aggressive hive and I'll work my way to the most aggressive. That way, when the most aggressive hive start, I'll be already done with my inspection so they can fly around till they calm down. So let's go over here and we're going to start on my small hive. And this is the one that I raised the queen in that was on top from the double screen board. They actually have a queen in here now. So we'll do this one first. Let me get the camera set up so you can see. So let's get this legs. Okay, so this is my least aggressive hive right here. And we're gonna get this open. And we're gonna see what they're doing. I might have to drop the tripod down. All right, so I won't smoke this. What I want to do is take it off first and see how they behave. Okay, so this one is growing. We got a lot of bees on the top. And this is my styrofoam cover that I'm testing out. All right, so it looks like they're growing in here. We got bees on the top. And since they're not that aggressive, I won't smoke them. But I do have my smoker here ready, which you should always have. You should always have a smoker ready just in case the bees. Now you see they're calm. They're not flying out at me. They're not trying to sting me or buzz me. So we're going to open this up. All right, look at that. You got bees all over. So this hive is actually growing pretty fast. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to start on the end over here. There's where your resources are usually. 2 frames on each end, 2 frames on each end, and then you want 6 frames for your brood. Give or take. You can have 2.5, 2.5, just give or take. It doesn't have to be perfect math. All right, now I use this screen holder here. This flips around. So let's put that right here, which means we'll probably have to move the smoker out of the way and put it up there. All right, let's go. Oh, got to get my grabber, my frame grabber. All right, so let's start down here. Let's see what they have. So we're looking for pollen, nectar, honey, and bee bread. That's going to tell me if I need to feed them or if they're doing okay. You always want to check up on them, even though if they have enough, you want to check from time to time, whether in 14 or 10 days. Okay, so it looks like they're eating up resources. Okay, here we go. So you see that they have honey. There's one thing. And they have bee bread on here. Let me get that a little close for you so that you can see. So these girls have resources. See that bee bread there at the bottom? You got bee bread right there, and you got honey right here. So here's a frame, 1 frame of resources, which is great. Now the other side, they got a little bit of honey there, but they can use some more over here. All over here is empty, so they're just growing back. So let's put this over here. Let's check another one. We're going to check 2 on each end. And if you notice, I haven't smoked these bees. They're very gentle. And this is actually from the hive next to me over here. They have good genetics, so that's why I started another queen. I made another queen with the double screen board because these are the genetics that I want in my bee yard. Gentle, kind bees, always go slow. Now let's see what we got over here. All right, we got a row of honey. The queen is laying over here. We got some bee bread down there. All right, good resources. See that? Good resources. You got bee bread in here. Lots of bee bread in there. I hope you can see that because I don't have a videographer, so I got to try to show it to you the best way I can. So these are what you are looking for. So I got pollen in here, honey, got some larvae in here. So the queen has been over here. Let's see if we have any eggs. No, but I see some 3-day-old larvae. So she's doing good. She's all the way to the end. Now remember, this is the second frame in, so which means that brood nest is like 6.5 frames, almost 7, which is great. Oh yeah, she has another one filled up, so she's doing well. I'm not gonna bother this too much, but I'm just gonna show you this queen here. Man, she's a wow. She has the genetics of her mom. She's a laying machine. She is a laying machine. Wow. Now I want you to, I'm just going to show you this frame. And then I'm going to look on the other side. Now look at this. Huh. We just had, look at this pattern. So what the queen did here is she has the brood on the edges. And then she got the nectar and pollen and bee bread in this side. Well, not the queen, the worker bees. And then over here on the edges also you have bee bread right around here. So they make it work either way. So this is what you're looking for. You want to see pollen, bee bread, and nectar. They have tons of resources here. So I'm stopping here for this one. I want to go slow. Now, the only reason I'm going to smoke these is I don't want to pinch them here when I'm putting them back, putting the frames back together. So I'm just trying to get them out the way so they don't get pinched. Now, that's the only reason I'm smoking them. I don't really need to smoke them. I just want to get them out so I don't pinch them. Just a light puff. You don't have to drown them. Just a light puff to get them back together. So these girls here are doing good. They almost got this thing filled up to my surprise. All right, so let's get this back in. Oh, all right, come on. I got to break that up. You got to get your frame back in there. You can't be doing that while I'm putting you back together. All right, so I want to go slow because I don't want to roll them. Give them a chance to get out the way. All right. So let's take a look on this side just for curiosity. We'll move the frame hanger over here. All right, girls, come on. Just got to be patient with them. They don't know what they're doing. All right, so let's take a look at these out of curiosity. And I got a frog over there in front of my hive. That means I need to get my pellet gun out. I hate them. They sit there and just pick your bees off. All right, so let's take one out of here. Just out of curiosity. Whoops. That one, boy, that propolis is really tight. All right. So over here, this one is empty. Queen hasn't made it down here yet. So, all right, they got a little bit of honey on here. Let's take a look at one more. All right, so they storing some pollen here, not a lot. So this end is a little bit lean. I see some honey in there. I see some pollen. Look like they're just starting to work on these frames. So what I'll do is I'll just get an overall assessment of this side. It seems like the brood nest is just on one side, but we'll figure it out. So what we're doing is checking for resources. We're not looking for the queen or any of that stuff. I did see 3-day-old larvae and cap larva, cap pupa. Okay, nothing going on here. Just the bees. If I wanted to, I could take some of these frames out and make this probably I want to say a 8-framer or a 7-framer until they bill it out. But well, we'll decide. We'll decide what we're gonna do with it. I would rather just leave it so they can spread out when they need to. I'm gonna look at one more. Uh-oh. Yeah, so okay. They storing resources. All right, so here's the other side of the brood chamber. Yeah, they storing up stuff. You know, they storing up. They storing up. It's not nothing to worry about. They're filling out the box. I'll check one more frame. That'll be it. All right, so they got some honey over here. They got some cap pupa. They got some bee bread. So for the size of this hive, they have enough resources. Yeah, we got some open larvae here. And looks like some young larvae, 3-day-old. It's laying down, it's in that C shape. So the queen has been over here. Yep, and we got, yeah, okay. I'm satisfied with what I see. They moving, they feeling it. It'll take them a bit. I just started this hive about, I think when the inspector came on the 9th, we took it apart from off of the double screen board, and we're still in September now. So it's probably been about maybe 3 weeks, I want to say. So they're looking fine for the size that they are. They do not like to be smoked, but I'd rather smoke them than squash them. For some reason, I see some little ants in there, some little tinies. How did they get in there? The bees will take care of them. The bees are good at controlling their hives with what they want in there and what they don't want in there. All right, so pretty much that's what you do to check for resources. And like I say, you want to watch the foliage in your area to see if it's growing or it's shrinking. And you also want to look in your hive. That'll tell you if you need to add feed for them or if they're good. So for the size of this hive, I don't have to feed them. And you don't want to always feed your bees. You don't want to make them lazy. Let them work the environment and get it the natural way rather than you providing it for them. You providing it for them is just a plan B. In case it gets that bad in the environment that there's no resources for them, then that's where you come in as a responsible beekeeper to help them out. So if they don't need help, you don't want to help them if they don't need help. Because what'll happen is you'll make them lazy. Now, what I notice about the genetics of this hive, I would call these bees go-getters. Because what I noticed about them is when all the other hives, I was watching the landing boards, and when I just see bees lazily on the other landing boards, these bees were like whoop, whoop, whoop. They were whipping in and out. And then that's something that I constantly notice about them, not just that one time. They're always on the go, looking for resources, bringing resources back. And so when I saw that and I saw the gentle nature, I said, okay, these are genetics that I want in my bee yard. So this is actually the first box that I grafted off of the genetics of my queen. Now I bought that queen from a queen breeder in Fort Pierce. So if you need queens, I can hook you up with him. And he said to me that he has them all year round. So if you pinch your queen, we can get you another queen, but not a lot of queens. He said a couple. If you need a couple out of season, he can get me a couple. But I don't know if that's just for me or for everybody. So just to let you know, we got a queen breeder up in Fort Pierce. And I paid $35 for the queen, and she was a go-getter. I like the genetics, so I'm trying to spread those genetics. Now, why I'm smoking them is because I want to put the cover back on without them being on the edge. Yeah, I don't like the squash bees at all. All right, so I hope this quick lesson here has helped you learn how to see if your hive need resources. And if you look at the front of my hive, I also have bottles to give them water. You probably saw that at the beginning when I went around the front. Those are not sugar feeders. Those are actually water. You never want to use an entrance feeder at the front of your hive. It'll cause robbing. So for me, robbing hasn't started. So that's something else that you'll have to learn. When the resources get thin, then that's when robbing happens. What I've noticed is since we have all of this rain going on, resources are still there. But I want to say come around Thanksgiving, close to December, that's when our resources going to dwindle down. So that's when you want to start paying attention to robbing. I mean, by all means, pay attention all the time, but especially in those times, that's when you definitely want to pay attention to. So if you have any other questions, any other thoughts, let me know. And like I say, I'll make a video for you so you can see what you need to learn and how to do it. So I'm putting this hive back together. I got the other 3 to do. Unfortunately, I don't want to make a long video, so I'm just making a video for you so you can see how to check your hive for resources and to determine if they need resources. So now if this box was packed, I would probably give them a couple jars of feeding, but because of the limited size of this hive, I don't think they need all of that feeding. They have enough resources in there to last, and plus they're going to be bringing in a lot more now out of the environment since it's not raining. So today is Sunday and it's actually held up. I'm out here in the morning. It's probably about 11:30 and the sun is out. It's nice. Normally we would have gray skies all day, and then right around 1-2 o'clock it just cut loose till like 8 o'clock at night. Constant rain. So this is a good thing. So I hope this educational video has helped you. And again, I have a disclaimer. This is what works in my bee yard. You have to actually work with your bees to see what works for them and how to apply these methods that you saw me do and to learn when to apply them. So until the next video, everyone have a great day. And as I always say, peace, love, joy, and happiness. Enjoy your bees and have fun.